This tutorial for Holland Park Primary School covers the use of the school calendar page and creating events that will appear within the calendar and other little positions throughout the site. We have a main calendar page on the front of the site, accessed from the main menu here. The calendar can be shown in a number of ways. The default is by month, but we can also have like an agenda view showing it in list order. We can have it in a poster board, which is quite a nice little view. You'll see if you're doing it in poster board view, it helps to have it in have little images associated with the events, but we can we'll show you how to add those. It can be slightly mayhemic, but we give people the option to choose which order they like. You can also view it by day or by week. Excuse me. We also have the option to filter the calendar. So if we're looking at, let's say, this month, let's have a look at next month. Okay, so we can choose to look at only certain events. So I only want to look at when the school's closed or open, and you'll see it hides everything else, and it's just showing this election date next week when the school's closed. One of the nice things about this is that parents visiting the site can then filter the calendar specifically to their child's year group or year groups, and then they can subscribe to this calendar into Outlook, Google Calendar, or iCal on a Mac. A number of other ones are available too. And therefore, as long as the school are inputting these events into the back of the site, they're effectively being pushed out to all the people who subscribe to the calendar. And they don't have to keep visiting the site to check and get updated news on what's happening. I've put a little message to that effect so it helps the parents get familiar with this sort of functionality, but you might want to communicate that to them a bit more obviously. Okay, so how do we get I'll just let all categories show on that now and go back to today's date and the month. So how do we get things to appear within this calendar? Okay, now if you, like I've previously showed you, open another tab in your browser and go to the login page, which is the website, and then /wp-admin, and hit return. You'll be prompted for your username and password, and when you enter those, you'll end up at this dashboard. Now all the events in the calendar are controlled from here. We can add new events, add new categories and tags, and then I wouldn't worry about any of the other stuff, and it will probably be hidden from you anyhow. So if we want to add a new event, we go to Add New. And the more information you can provide on an event, the better, and the less likely people are to ring up and find, ask if they're missing information. So the more you provide, the better you can. I'm going to create a fake event, say like a science exhibition, like a roadshow coming into the school. So let's call it science show. Okay, that's the type of the event, and you'll see there's it's slightly different. It's got some different information it's requiring when you normally look at like a post or a page. So is it an all-day event? well, this isn't. It's going to be a 1 hour show in the afternoon. So let's say it's coming up in October. We get a little date picker. It's going to be on the 23rd. So the end date's also the 23rd, and we're going to have it from 3 p.m. So we click in here, it brings up a time selector, 24-hour clock. So that's going to go from 3 to 4. No, we can't have that. Let's go from 2 till 3. Okay, time zone London, that's fine. I'll show you the different options on all-day events and repeats, but this is an hour-long event. You then can add your event location. So this is going to be at the school. But obviously it could be maybe you're announcing a trip and you're going to a museum, and you might want to put the location there, depending on the school's policy on how much information they're going to give out about the whereabouts of children. You might keep it quite simple and generic. Right, I'm just going to grab your address and put it here. We get the option to show a Google map on the event page. You can then put in any information regarding the cost, or if, it's very unlikely you're going to use a tickets URL, but you might as well say it's free, it's no cost. And if people do need further information, you could give them a contact name or email or an address to find out more information. Again, I appreciate most of the time within school you're literally going to give a title and the date and maybe the time, and that's probably all the information you're going to have. If you do have some information, sort of like a description or some additional stuff you want to add, there's the sort of text editor here. I've just got a bit of Greek or dummy Latin I'm just going to put in there. And then the other final two things, it always helps to add a little image. So down here on the right you'll see a thing for featured image. If you hit that, it will take you to your media library to find a previously uploaded image. Or if you want to upload a specific image, you can hit the upload file tab, select, go to look for a file. Here's one I found previously or created. That uploads there, and I can simply say set featured image, and it should appear there. And then the final thing we need to do is to decide what category. So here on the front of the site where I was showing you what categories an event can appear in, which is also useful because, say, in the class pages, I've added some specific upcoming events that these are pulled in from the calendar, and where they apply to Year 2, I've told it to pull in just those events. So tags can be, categories can be very powerful. So if I, for example, wanted this to appear specifically for Year 2, and I'll say we've got some pre-made categories in here. Let's say it's a visit to the school. And then you can add a little tag. You don't have to. It's just to give search engines a little bit more information and to help you filter through all your events if you want to. If you need more categories, you think you could do with a slightly different category, you can add those here, and then simply hit the Add New Category button. So we've now given it a title and a time and date. We've given it a category, and we've given it a little description and a featured image. So if we hit publish, you can do it. You can save a draft and preview it just to check before you actually publish it. I'm going to go straight ahead and publish. Okay, and when the browser's finished updating, I'm going to go to the front of the site and look at our calendar. And we should see, if we go to October, that we then have the science show on the 23rd in the afternoon. And there's a little preview with our description and the featured image. If we click on this, it will take us to what we call the event detail page. So it shows the image in large. Here it's showing the map of the location, the dates, when, where, how much it costs, what categories you put it in, and then it's showing you the actual description. So you're getting a lot of detail if you can provide it. That information is automatically displayed on the home page if it's within the next 4 or 5 events upcoming. And you can see here we've got the science show on the 23rd. So that's automatically pulled through. And because we added it to, trying to remember what category, but I think we added it to year 2. If we look on a year 2 class page, we can see it's appearing here because it's specific. It's been categorized as year 2. So on the 23rd, whereas if we go to a year 3 class page, it's not appearing. Okay, so that's how we add an individual one-off event to our event calendar and have it displayed in multiple locations throughout the site. If I wanted to change that event and maybe I can make it into an all-day event simply by hitting all day, and then the time constraints disappear. You can also, although it's probably quite rare, you can add repeating events whereby you can tell it, right, well, this thing happens every week. It's always maybe on a Tuesday, and it happens every 2 weeks on a Tuesday. And when does it stop appearing on the site? Well, we want it to appear after maybe 4 occurrences, or you can set it to end on a specific date. So it's a very flexible system. It's quite rare I actually set recurring patterns, but the facility is there should you need it. If you set a recurring pattern but it doesn't quite fit your requirements, you'll find you can often then exclude certain dates as well. And by combining a repeating pattern with an excluding pattern, you can meet your exact sort of display requirements. Okay, I think that concludes adding events to your school calendar and having them display in multiple locations throughout the site automatically.